Recording in progress.
Hi, my name is Priti, and as we all know, today is our presentation on the report The Buy House Price. Before moving on to the discussion of the report, we'll discuss a little about the dataset. The dataset that has been provided has gone through the required cleaning process, meaning wherever the data type has to be changed has been changed. Let's say the places where the numbers were in the form of decimal format, they have been changed to fixed decimal number, because the number in the decimal format, they were bigger in size and it was difficult to understand. So after changing them into the fixed decimal format, they are now smaller in size and easy to understand. Other than changes in the data type, the figures which were having the Indian currency symbol has been changed to the Dubai Riyal symbols. In addition to this, there are 3 more columns added plus 5 more measures added. The measures are generated using DAX calculation, which are useful in the generation of the KPIs. The objective of building this report is to help the policymakers, the investors, and the agents in taking up the right decision based on the business insight and the business recommendations given. Now moving to the discussion of the report, as we all know it is the buy house price. The 5 most important key performance indicator of the report are total listings, the average price per square feet, the oldest property, and the most expensive property. The first KPI, which is total listing, it is 50,000 in number. This number shows that the Dubai real estate market is healthy and active. The oldest property KPI, which is 75 year, it shows that the property as old as 75-year-old exists in the market and there is a scope for the redevelopment of such kind of property. We now move on to the discussion of the chart. The first chart, which is the clustered bar chart, here we have tried to show the count of properties by locality and price range. So if we go to the urban area, we can see that the demand for the high-end houses is higher compared to the demand for the budgeted houses, and demand is higher in comparison to the mid-range houses. When we go to the rural areas, the demand for the high-end houses is higher compared to the demand for the budget and the mid-range houses. Then in the suburbs, the demand for the budget houses is higher compared to the demand for the high-end and the mid-range houses. Now moving to the next chart, which is the donut chart. Here we have discussed about the price distribution by locality. It shows how the prices are distributed amongst the locality. Let's say if we look at the rural area, out of the total money invested, which is 100%, 33.24% is invested in the rural area, and then the suburb contributes towards 33.21%, and the urban area, it counts for 33.55%, which is the highest. Now moving to the next chart, which is the pie chart. It discusses about the distribution of price range. So in the high-end region, the number of properties which are in which is 17,000 in number and 34%. It counts for 34%. For the budget, it is 33%, which is 16,500 in number, and for the mid-range, it is 33%. Now moving to the next chart, which is the table. Here it shows that property as old as 75-year-old exists in the market, and it shows good scope for the development of such kind of properties. Now moving to the filters. Now moving to next is our slices. Here we can filter out as to depending upon what is our requirement. Let's say if we are looking for a 5-bedroom house and the number of bathroom that we are looking into it is 3, and the locality we are looking for is urban, and the price range that we are looking for is high-end. So this is what the data that we get out of filtering. So now based on the requirement, we can do the filtering and get the required data. Now moving to the next chart, which is scatter chart. It shows the total amount of money spent on the versus the total area of square feet. It shows that the high-end houses are the total of square feet for the high-end houses is higher, and the amount of money spent for such houses is equally higher. Then the amount of square feet for the mid-range houses is in the medium range, and the money spent is equally in medium. And then for the budgeted houses, the area covered is less as compared to the high end and the mid-range houses, and obviously the price too is less compared to both the high end and the mid-range houses. Now the business insight that we can draw from this is that business recommendations that we can draw from this report is that the policymaker can focus on the mid-range housing. It targets majority demand segment, and it is ideal for consistent sales volume. An expansion of the luxury project in urban area will be profitable despite lower volumes, and focus on premium amenities and branding will be helpful. Investment in suburban development will be good because it will lead to affordable housing plus growing demand, and it will be suitable for long-term expansion. Then the redevelopment strategy. It will be good to renovate and rebuild the older properties, which will help in increasing the property value and the ROI. Then the smart pricing strategy. The policymaker can use price per square feet as a benchmark, which will help in standardizing valuation across listings. Then the target marketing. 1 to 2 BHK apartments or the houses can be targeted for the investors and the real income buyers, whereas 3 BHK plus houses will be good for the families and the long-term buyers.